Hey guys, Zor here from ZorGameGeek.com, here to talk to you about the Gumshoe RPG system. How many of you, when you're playing other systems like Dungeons & Dragons, or Pathfinder, or even Savage Worlds, where your characters or the players are trying to do this investigation, they're trying to find something, and they roll the dice and they fail. And, me as a game master, I do not like it when my players, if one person fails, the next one wants to jump in and says, well, let me roll. And the next one, let me roll. It kills the narrative storytelling, and it really gamifies your system and your session. So this happened to me in a Dungeons & Dragons game playing the 5th edition starter set, Lost Mines of Phandelver. The very first encounter for that starter set is you encounter a goblin ambush as you're going down a road. And if you kill the goblins or scare them off, then each player or a player has to make an investigation check to find the tracks of the goblins that lead back to their hideout. The difficulty was really low in the book. It's like a DC 10 or 11. You essentially have a 50-50 shot if you have +0 to your skill bonus, and surely one of your players is going to have at least a little bit of a bonus to their skill, so surely somebody's going to make it. Each and every player rolled below a 10 when you're adding in their bonuses, which means, rules as written, nobody succeeded on that investigation check. So then, the game as written, the module as written, assumes that they're going to find that and they're going to head off to the hideout, where they're going to find additional clues and additional people to then fuel the next steps in the adventure. Not having found anything, the parties just continued on their way to Phandalin, and then I had to figure out how to get them back to the hideout. Well, with the Gumshoe RPG system, you don't have to worry about any of that. When it comes to investigation, the players always find the clue. That's right. The players always find the clue. And when they're making an investigation check, and just to be clear, an investigation check is more than just the investigation skill or perception skill or arcana skill or nature skill from Dungeons and Dragons, or even like 5th edition or Shadowrun, where you have your local knowledge skills. Your investigation skills are chemistry and biology and archaeology and accounting and interpersonal skills like cop talk and persuade and things like that. If you have that skill and you are using it in a scene and it's appropriate for you to find something, the game master is supposed to always give you the clue. The difference is between Gumshoe and our other systems is in Gumshoe you have additional ranks. Dots, if you are thinking about the Vampire, the Masquerade, or the White Wolf, a series of games where each point in a skill gives you an additional dot, which gives you some bonuses or things that you can roll the dice to achieve. Same basic concept. You have additional dots up to 3. Now, if you want to learn something on top of what you already are given by the game master, you can spend one of those points. You can spend a couple of points. As written, the rules say that there's rarely anything that should be found with 3 points, because the game assumes that your players are competent investigators. And that's really the big difference between the Gumshoe system and other systems like Shadowrun, like Dungeons & Dragons, even Savage Worlds. These systems do not assume that with just one purchase, one skill rank in any skill, that you are maybe not just competent, but highly competent in that skill rank. And then if you have a couple of dots, 3 dots, you are the world-renowned expert in that thing, in forensic accounting, in crime lab procedures, in biology and chemistry. You are a near Einstein level intelligence in that area, and you can find out a lot. But those points don't just refresh willy-nilly. The scene has to end. There has to be a conclusion to the investigation or some other action that you take during that game that allows you to refresh, gain back all of, or maybe one or two if it's mid investigation, dots in that skill. So there's resources, there's still player choice, and that's an important thing to realize, that even though the game master is just supposed to give you that information, the player still has some choices to make and resources to manage and use up, and maybe they could have gotten something different later on had they not spent those dots in that investigation. There you have it. There's some basics about the Gumshoe role-playing system. If you want to learn more about Gumshoe, please visit zorgamegeek.com/gumshoe. That's zorgamegeek.com/gumshoe. Keep gaming.